Hi everyone, this is Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and thanks for joining today. I wanted to show you how to do a starburst card. So it's a little cutting technique that creates these, these rays. It's kind of fun. So I just want to show you some of the tips I learned, and I altered it from what some people are doing just to save a little bit of paper. So I wanted to share that with you too. Okay, so I'll just show you. I became addicted. I've made tons. So there's 3. We're going to make another whale card. I've made snowmen. And then I've made a lighthouse. So that's the one I started with. So let me show you. It's easy. Once I had seen it, it's been around for a while, and I said, oh, I don't have time to figure out how to learn how to do it. It's super easy. Super, super easy. Okay, so what you need are, actually, before I do that, let me show you why I changed it. I'm going to move all my stuff around. What you need are rectangles of, I'm going to have you cut 2 by 5. When I went onto Pinterest, people were doing 2 by 6, and I don't know if that's because they were doing it with the pattern paper, which a lot of it comes 6 by 6. So I just don't know if they were doing it that way. And my first one I did do that way. And we're going to put them on like that. And then, but look at all of this waste. That drove me crazy. It's way too much of a waste of paper, especially for your pattern paper that, you want to kind of use and save. So I tried figuring out different sizes. So this one is 2 by 5. This one, it looks funny off-center because I didn't do my point in the middle. I did it more in the corner. But do you see how much less waste there is? Kind of look at it this way. It's a whole lot less waste of paper. So I've discovered that 2 by 5 works just fine. If you want to use the note cards and envelopes, so like this is the regular size, these are the note cards and envelope size. I still kept it at 5 inches because you need it for the corner pieces, but I did 1.5 by 5 because you could do 2 by 5, but it's a smaller card, so it just made these a little bit narrower so you could get more on the paper. All right, move those over there. And I can put this back now. So I have, let me actually grab the whale cards, which, over here, I set them aside. Okay, so I used a mixture of solid cardstock plus the designer paper because, again, sometimes too many patterns is too busy, so I needed to tone it down, but I didn't want them just to be plain. So what I did is I embossed them. As you can see, I embossed the paper before I cut. This one I used, it goes with this suite, which I took out because the whale done suite, which is funny. I wasn't even going to order it. I thought it was really cute, but I said, well, I don't know if I need it. And then one of my demonstrators, she's on my team, Tracy, had done really cool cards with this, which I'm gonna make some, and so she convinced me, she convinced some other team members to get it. And so it's cool because it comes with punch, so you don't need a special machine unless you get the folder, but I really like it, so you're gonna see more of me using it. But anyways, I use this, whatever it's called, folder that goes with it, that's kind of like under Sea Life. So I did that already. So let's see. So we want it to be 2 by 5. Okay. So you're going to make all your colors, all your patterns 2 by 5. And then you're going to cut it on a diagonal. So I'm going to use this corner in my cutting, I don't know what you call it, track there, and I'm going to cut. So you get 2 right triangles like that. So you're going to do that for all of your papers that you decide you want to do. I have used between 7 and 8 rays on mine. Let's see, I know the Lighthouse had 7. So when we put it together, your spaces in between will be a little wider if you use 7, or if you use 8, they'll be a little bit closer together. So that's up to you and how much paper you have. So again, that's what the 2x5 becomes, like that. And then I already pre-cut a lot of mine because you didn't need to see me cut them all. So I have all of those triangles. And then you're going to use, I used a regular card base, just fold it in half. Now the one I saw online used, she did hers on just a background piece and then affixed it to the card, and that works, and then you have a border all the way around your card. But again, you lose a little bit of the paper. So I ended up doing, we're going to glue it directly onto the card base. So it just gives you a little bit, it just goes right to the edge. And I kind of like that look better. It's nothing wrong. It's choice of what you want to do. But I'm just going to glue it directly on here, and it's done the same way. All right. So we're going to lay them out. Actually, I'm going to lay it out on a silicone mat because it's going to get gluey. And then you're going to lay out, so this is what we discovered. We actually made these cards on a Zoom stamping last night. And so some people, actually I ended up liking what they did. But, and don't forget the paper has 2 sides. And you also, I feel like I'm all over the place. I have a bunch to tell you. So see how those, I don't know if you can see, the fishes are upside down, just how I cut it. Those must be leftover pieces. You know, the seahorse is upside down. So all you do for that is you either flip it and use the other side, or you have it so these, you know, if I was going to have them go in here, because we're gonna glue them all to a point, you're just going to have it go in this direction. So I'll do this one in this direction. So now my seahorses and my fish won't be upside down. Hopefully that makes sense. The other thing we discovered last night, because it's not an equilateral triangle, it's a right angle. So here's the right angle, here's a right angle. You want the direction of the right angles to all go in the same direction. So like, let's see. You want all the right angles, say, to be, for this one, on the bottom. So here's a right angle, here's a right angle, here's a right angle, here's a right angle. So they're all kind of flowing in the right direction, or the same direction. Now it had a kind of a cool look if you wanted to change it up a bit, and if you want the right angles to be opposite. So then I would do like this one and then flip it over. I wouldn't use that pattern, but do you see what I mean? So those 2 angles are touching. So if you do that, just make sure you have them clumps of 2 going around so it has that nice flow. It's not mishmash. Okay, so let's put this one together. So again, I'm gonna put this, actually, let's see which direction I want them to go in, because I'm using a lot of my leftover pieces. I also like to use the solid pieces closer to the edges because you don't see as much. Well, that one I didn't. So again, I don't want to waste my designer series paper. I don't mind, you know, I don't want to say waste, but my solids, I have a lot more solids than I have pattern papers. Have that go in the right direction. I'll make some of these a little bit different than the other ones. I'm going to use that one. I know that's what I just told you not to do. But I don't have any more pieces cut. Oh, here we go. You know what? This one is going to cut off, so you're not even going to see that it's opposite. All right, how many do I have on it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if we can get, what color am I missing? I'll put this in between. Okay. So here's my layout. Roughly. Okay. So now we're going to glue them down. Let's move these out of the way. It looks messy now, but just wait. It's going to look really cool. So the pieces that are closer to the edge, I don't need to glue the whole thing because there's only going to be a little bit off. All right, so I'm roughly finding the middle. I'm also leaving a little border on here. And then this next one, I'm going to kind of point the points together, and I'm going to leave a little border. So in this one, I'm just going to show you on this color. Because we didn't do the 6-inch, we did the 5-inch, so it's a little bit shorter, right? So you just have to make sure that your paper is covering the corner of the card. You don't want it to be, you know, a corner peeking through. So if you have to shimmy it up a little bit, that's fine, because this is going to be covered anyways. But let me go back, because I'm putting this color here. I just didn't know if you'd be able to see. This glue is wonderful. It's multi-purpose liquid glue, and it's the best glue I've used. And you can get that right through Stampin' Up. All right, so I'm just going around. I wonder if I'm going to even fit. Oh, this is where it makes it a little tight. Why did it do that? All right, so what I'm going to do on this one, normally I don't know what I did. You could fit 8, but because, so that would be, I think, too much because it's the border's different, and that's going to be awfully tight. I'm going to shimmy this one up a little bit. I think I'm going to do it like that. So I still have similar borders in between. This is going to get covered anyway, so you won't see that it's a different angle. Of course, right when I do it on video, it didn't work out. All right. I don't know why it didn't. Okay, so I'm going to flip that over for a second. You know, I'm going to have a little glue, and so I'm just going to, when it's dry, I'll just kind of clean up some of the glue. And that's because I kept lifting it up. If you leave it down, you'll be fine. But as it's drying, I just want to show you something. Move that again, because there we go. All right. In the pack of paper that comes with this suite, there's some fun fish and whales, all this fun stuff. And a lot of them are like little scenes. They're kind of really good for little scrapbooky albums. It's really nice. So you get this sheet of whale paper that lines up with the whale punch. But if I go to it like this one I cut out, there's other little parts, which is kind of cool because you can make like one of those, I don't know if they call them orca whales. You can, you know, with the colorations, you have the little blowhole, you have all this fun stuff and fins. but it cuts out, like this whale had the little blowhole thing cut out. So I don't want to waste all these whales. They're all good whales. I was joking last night, we want to save the whales. So what I did is I cut, I cut this out with scissors. And I'm going to use just a Post-it note. And I'm going to attach it so that it becomes my handle, because otherwise it's too small to put in there. So now I'm going to put it in here, get it in there. Line it up. And now I'll punch it. So that's left behind, so we don't need that anymore. So now I have a nice whale. And then these other little whales, I just cut out with scissors. There's one here and one here. So you have a little family, a little pod of whales. So that's one way of kind of conserving some of your whales and being able to use them. And I might as well, I'll just finish this part. So I have already pre-stamped this fun little sayings. Thanks a ton, whale done. My love is bigger for you than the ocean. You're kind of a big deal. Hoping all your birthday fishes come true. It's really quite a fun set. So let's see. I wasn't sure what color I was going to want. There's the purple. Yeah, I think I'll do the purple. So I'm going to, do I like the little guy? I think I'll do the little one. All right. A little sticky. Okay, so this is not exactly dry, but better. And I'm just going to take my scissors, flip over the card, and then just trim. I'll stick them on top of each other. And then your scissors will get a little sticky. After a while, I'll just put a little Goo Gone on them, and it just takes the stickiness off. Okay. Then you flip it over. Oh, trim that one. I forgot. I don't usually have that piece there. And it cleans it up really nice. I just love that look. All right, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit again to cover that little layer. I'm just going to use glue. I'm making sure that doesn't go over my edge because of the envelope. What I did on like the snowman one, I used a big circle, but then I overhung it and just cut it with scissors. Because it was a big circle, I didn't want it to take up all this space of what I just decorated, but I liked the circle and the snowman. I think I did that with the zebra one too. I don't know where it went. Okay, and I'm gonna glue this one down and then I'll pop up the little one. Oh, and I was gonna put ribbon underneath it, but it's too late. I did that on this one. I just put some ribbon and then I put my label on top, but I forgot. And here's like a dimensional, just fits, or you can use the mini ones. Thanks a ton. How cute is that? Oh, here's the zebra one. Here, so the circle I cut off too. So I stamped it off center, which makes it nice. Where's the, I'll just do this one. So again, most of mine I was doing like on this side, but I actually wanted to show you when you had the upside down patterns, you just put your little on the other side, or you can do it this way, like really like a sun, depending on what you're having for your label. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I hope you like the sunburst technique and we'll give it a try. Look at your papers. You really, again, you only need 2x5 strips, so you can use up a lot of those scraps that are sitting in your bins. Thank you very much. Please visit my website, mailsomethingpretty.com, and sign up for my mailing list and subscribe to my YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to stay connected with you. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.